now we're going to go into another phase of the strength training, and we're going to do some basic body squats, but we're going to buckle the bands back up. The bands are going to help fire the muscles at a greater level, and that's going to help you build some more strength. We want to build some quad and glute strength by going, I'm going to have Kat turn sideways, so you'll face that way, and she's going to do some basic squats. We're going to get about shoulder width apart. Feet are slightly pointed out, just ever so slightly out. And the reason for that is we don't want any stress on the knee when you're doing these squats. If you keep the toes pointed forward, that's a little bit of unnecessary stress. And we're really not probably going to hurt you, but we're not going to do it that way. So now I'm going to have Kat do about 6 resisted squats, and we want to make sure that we keep those knees over the toes and that butt over the heel, and we're going to come back. We're going to drop those hips. Ready? Go ahead. And again, we're working on the strength. We got to have some quadricep strength and some glute strength. And you can take those hands out a little bit. We want you to drop it back. Good, good. And try to go down to parallel if you can, or if you need to work your way to that. Let's try to pause right down there at the bottom just a little bit. Very good. Nice and slow. Now, those bands are actually building strength, and they're keeping those hips in line, and they actually are not pulling the legs in. They're actually keeping them in a proper position, so we've got the knees out here, and we're dropping back. Let's do a couple more. Very good, very good. Okay, now let's unbuckle real quick. And again, we're going to have her go back through. I recommend about 8 to 10 reps of resisted, and then maybe somewhere in the 4 to 8 range of unresisted. So let's go ahead and do some. And now she doesn't have the resistance. We want her to remember that she's dropping the hips back, making sure that those knees don't go out over those toes. When you start going forward, then you're putting a lot of stress on your knees. Very good. Nice and slow. Let's try to go down to parallel if we can. Pause at the bottom. Very good. Very good. How's that feel? Good. Now let's buckle back up, and we're going to go into a second phase, and we're going to bring in a prop. What we're going to do is set up a chair or a bench, and now we're going to have her squat again. We're going to have her move out to where she's just a little bit too far away. All we want her to do is squat and just barely touch this chair. What she's doing is she's building the strength, she's building body control and balance, because when we go into a jump phase where we want to do a toe touch, not only do you got to get up in the air, but in order to complete a proper toe touch, you're going to have to drop those hips so that them legs can go up higher. So let's work that a little bit, get a good feel for it. You may be just a little bit too far away. Come back some. Keep coming back. There you go, right about there. Now I want you to barely touch. I want you to touch that chair. Barely touch it. That's it, right there. I want you to pause when you touch the chair, and then go back up. Again, she's dropping the hips, and we've got to work on that area for our toe touch. And it's also good for any of your jumps for just sheer explosion, because we're over-exaggerating coming way down here, and then when we get in a proper jump position, then we're going to explode up. So go ahead, let's try a couple more of those. Good, good. There you go. Good. And don't worry about it. It takes a little bit of work. You can do this on a bench or a chair usually is pretty good. Okay, and again, those bands are helping her build strength while they're keeping her hips in line and firing her stabilizer muscles, so that her stabilizer muscles are firing so that when she comes back, she has the good strength. We want to focus on the muscles that we're wanting to isolate on. Okay, let's unbuckle real quick. And the reason now we're doing this, not really looking for a flexibility phase, we want to work on body control. And we want to work on the pure strength. So now that the bands are not on, it's not firing the stabilizer muscles, so she's going to have to concentrate a little bit more to keep those feet out a little bit and hold that position properly. So let's go ahead. Good. Barely touch. Very nice. Making sure that those hips drop and the knees stay over the toes. Working on doing about 8 resisted, somewhere in the 4 to 8 unresisted, and you can do, generally we do 3 to 4 sets. Okay, great. Now we're going to move this back out of the way, and let's buckle back up. Good. Okay, now I'm going to have Kat come right over here, and we're going to face that way, and we're going to do a forward lunge. So we're going to come out. Remember, when you're doing this, make sure that that knee doesn't go over the toe, and make sure that you drop this back leg right here. So some people come over here. That's putting stress on the knee. We want to come down here, and you're going to feel that right in that quadricep. So we've done glutes, and now we're working on the quadricep. Good. And then you can go forward, go one more, and then stay right there. Now, what I like to do, let's come back over here just a little bit, face that way. Now what I like to do, everything that we do, I really like to do it backwards, because backwards, can't see where you're going, a little bit of an equilibrium issue. That's going to help you fire more muscles and work on balance and body control. So let's do the same thing coming back. Just like that. As you can see, your body, when you're not able to see where you're going, your body has to work just a little bit harder. There you go. Very good, very good. So we'll go forward, we'll go backwards. Good strength training, that's a good quadricep exercise. Now, let's come over here, and we're gonna do another one here real quick. We're gonna do that leg raise, and let's face them. So what we're gonna do is have her come up to the top and hold for a 3-second count and down. What we're doing is trying to fire that quadricep, and we should be getting a little bit of glute action back here in the down leg. When you come up here, we want to build strength in this leg, but in the down leg, we want it, because it's got to hold your body weight and hold you in balance and form. Good. So again, we're going to go through about 8 unresisted with each leg, and then we'll go through about 4 to 8 unresisted. When we take the bands off, she'll be able to come up a lot higher. Okay, let's do about 2 more each side. You feel that in that quadricep on that one? How you feeling that? You feel it in the glute on the down leg? Okay. Okay, good. Now let's do about 4 each side unresisted. As we go through our strength phase, what we want to do is we want to work the quadriceps of the thighs, the hamstrings, the hips, the hip flexors, and the glutes. And then we'll start, later on, we'll go into a phase of core. Jumping, body control, and balance is also going to be very important to have a strong core. How'd that feel? So let's try that again. We should be able to go a little bit higher. As you can see, she can bring that leg way up higher when she's not resisted. Very good, very good. All right. So that's part of our strength training phase for today. Check out our website and our cheerleading and gymnastics page at www.myosource.com.